to BB's Handmade Dress. It's a podcast vlog thing on knitting and sewing. I've not got loads to show you today, but I have got a bit of stash enhancement, so I thought I'd hop on and say hi. So I've been away for a week. I've been in Bristol with my family, and so there's been a lot of knitting time, which is excellent. I took quite a lot of projects because I knew that there would be quite a bit of time that I was doing things that required a little bit of knitting. So I've got 3 things to show you that are no FOs this week, I'm afraid, but there will be hopefully in the next few days, hopefully. Okay, so first whip that I have should be a finished object, to be honest, but I made a mistake and I had to rip back. So this is my everyday socks from Voolenvine. So this is the completed one you saw. There you go, it's a slip stitch heel and Kitchener stitch toe, just decreases in Kitchener stitched. And we have this much of the second. For the eagle-eyed among you, you can probably see that I didn't pick it up exactly how, or I haven't finished picking it up really. I did the top decreases, but I hadn't done the bottom, so my heel didn't come in at the bottom like it should have. So this one comes in here and here, and mine didn't. It was just flat at the bottom. So it was at the point it annoyed me enough that I thought it's fine, I'll rip it back. But I'm not expert at ripping it back, sadly. So I've done the best I can. Hopefully it'll be fine. But yeah, I'd like to finish these this week. I should say I'm wearing my Fern and Feather by Juniper Steingass that I showed you in the last video, which is lovely. It's a little bit warm in here for this, to be honest, so I don't know how long I'll last wearing it because it's really lovely, but it's super warm and our house is quite toasty at the moment. So that's my first whip. Second whip, which actually got loads and loads of work on it, and I can't remember if I showed you this last time, is my Rocquaine sweater by Christina, Danaee. I'm really sorry if I butchered that. I'll put it on the screen. It's from Pom Pom, an old issue, fall 2015, something like that. Again, I'll put it on the screen. But here it is so far. It's a lot bigger than last time you saw it. It is on my smaller lickers, so the pattern's not very easy to see because I've got it on a smaller loop, but I love these lickers so much that I didn't want to take it off the loop, and I'm going to split in a minute to work the front separately anyway, so that loop will be totally fine for that. So it is mostly a sea of stockinette. This is Blue Rinse in Castaway DK by Stranded Dyeworks from Amy. If you haven't seen her podcast, check it out, she's excellent. It's a really lovely colour. So this is just a sea of stockinette with a provisional cast on. I think when I last showed you, I showed you the provisional cast on. There you go, it's done in this DK that I happen to have knocking about. And so yeah, I'm past the first part of the chart, which is these kind of zigzag things. They're a bit difficult to see in this, but hopefully once it's all flattened out and blocked, it'll look a lot better. I did make a mistake and I had to rip back. I was in the first, I don't know, 3 rows of the chart and then realised I'd screwed it up. So rip back down, come back up and done the chart correctly, which is good. But because I'd had to split for the sleeves, because I had to split for the fronts and the backs, that was a bit too much concentration knitting for what I was doing last week. So it's all ready to do that, but then I kind of let it sit and hibernate for a bit. But I really love it so far. I think it will be plenty big enough. I'm kind of there, I think, because the provisional cast on then allows you to do your ribbing at the bottom and split hem at the bottom as well. So I'm pretty happy with that. But yeah, I'm loving the colours. I want to call this my mermaid jumper because it makes me think of kind of sea-like things and mermaids, and I love these kind of washed out blues and every now and again there's a pop of really hot electric blue. See if I can find one. There's a good one. Every now and again there's just this pop of electric blue, and it really sets the rest of the colours off. So I keep getting really happy when I get to one of those. I'm like, oh yay, electric blue pop, I love it. So yeah, that is my Rocquaine so far. Fingers crossed I should have a front next time you see it. But we'll see. So those are my whips today. There's not many. I was going to cast on a few other bits, but I just haven't had time or chance because I wasn't at home. Yeah, so it's all been pretty good. I went because my grandmother's not very well, so I was sat at her house a lot of the time while she was asleep, so the knitting was kind of perfect. With that, I've just remembered I do have one more whip, but it's not much. So the third whip I've got is the Adama Cowl, and you guys saw it not very far from where it is now, but I only worked on it a little bit. So last time you saw it, it was kind of there because it had been ripped back by my friend. I'd done all the lace and screwed it up. Seems to be a common theme this week. And she'd ripped it back for me so that I had the 41 stitches I needed, because I seemed to be increasing stitches and I couldn't work out why. So I followed the chart like a hawk this time. So I have now got 41 stitches, thank God, and I'm finished the first part of the lace pattern. So there it is. It's not perfect again. There's a couple of, the problem is because you've got slants one way for slip sit knits and slants the other way for K2 togs. I'm assuming if I'm in the other half of the chart I'm doing K2 togs, and in the first half of the chart I'm doing slip sit knits, and occasionally it switches up on me and I wasn't aware. So there's a couple of those, but I worked it out fairly early on. So I'm liking it so far. Now I've got it right, hopefully it'll knit up pretty fast. So that's the first half of the chart. Then you've got to repeat rows 1 to 19 again. This is the Adama Cowl, and I'll put the name of the person below. I really should start doing show notes, it would really help, wouldn't it? Yeah, happy with this so far. I really want to get this done. I'm kind of here, I guess, and then once it's long enough, it then is joined in the round as a cowl rather than a shawl. But yes, and this is Quince & Co. Lark in the Apricot colourway, which is lovely. I did make a jumper out of it and then shrunk it. So I have 3 skeins left, which is just enough to make myself a nice squishy cowl. Okay, so in terms of whips, that's it. It was fairly quick, fairly nondescript. I'm pleased with the amount of work I've done on my Rocquaine, so that's fine. I also, when I went home, decided to visit Alternate Universe, which is in Cleve, which is just outside Bristol. Funnily enough, very, very close to where my family live. So that was great because I could just nip across and go in there. Their shop opening hours aren't particularly regular. They're I think they're Thursday to Sunday. So the first half of the week I was like, I need to go, and then I looked it up and then realised that I can't go because they're shut. But that's okay. I went in and it was a lovely shop. I should have done some filming, but I didn't feel that I could ask. I felt a bit like I should have asked, but I didn't. And they have a knit night on or a knit afternoon, I should say, on a Sunday, and I really would have loved to have gone. And they were so helpful and lovely in there, and we chatted for ages about Edinburgh and things. But I wasn't able to on Sunday because we were making our way home. So hi Alternate Universe, it was really nice to meet you guys. I didn't get a chance to meet Kim, who runs it, but I had a chat with Kim's mum and it was lovely. So hi. So a lot of this is from them. There's a couple of things that are not, but I'll go through the Alternate Universe stuff first. The thing I bought was some West Yorkshire Spinners Croft. This is the Dalsatter colourway. Looks very pink on the screen. It's not quite as pink and purpley as that. But I really love this, and I really fancied making a skiff or there's another one in the new Lena magazine. That I'd really love to make. So I really wanted some decent aran weight that I could use to knit up a hat. So this was perfect because it's kind of woolly and lovely, and I'm thinking I won't get many opportunities now we're coming into kind of springtime to wear one, so I thought I'll knit one up quick. So this is West Yorkshire Spinners, and it's the Shetland tweed, 100% Shetland Island wool, and Dalsatter is the colourway. It's really speckled and cool. I went in there with the intention of getting plain things, and some of them I managed, some of them I didn't. Next up is things for socks, because I have posh sock yarn, so I've just grabbed one as an example. I've got things like Nora George, which I love, but sometimes I feel a bit guilty making it into socks because they go on my feet and I don't want to ruin them. So I picked up this. So this is also West Yorkshire Spinners. This is their signature 4-ply. There's absolutely loads of it. There is 400 metres, and this is the Spearmint colourway. So again, it's coming out really, really bright. That's a bit better. It's sort of that sort of tone. It is bright, but it's just not like day glow. They also had West Yorkshire Spinners minis. So I thought, heels and toes could be really cute. So I got this one, which is Juniper. And there is this mini skein, was £1.60. It has 80 metres, 20 grams. So I thought those two went really nicely together and played really nicely together. So I thought I might have a go at doing some plain socks, maybe with a pattern on them, with different coloured heels and toes. So that was my idea for that one. I also got some more West Yorkshire Spinners with the same idea. So the other colours I got were, I think this is Cinnamon Stick. Yep, Cinnamon Stick. And this is Pennyroyal, which I really loved. It's a little bit of a straggly skein at the top, but there you go. Pennyroyal and Cinnamon Stick, which is a lot more subdued, a lot more classy kind of colours. But, you know, I love this colour for spring. It's so fun. So these, I think, might be the Helen Stewart Magnolia socks. So I see that she's released her sock club, and I thought, well, they're really beautiful. I don't want to pay for the sock club right now, but if all of the patterns, there's 2 out so far and I love them both. Is it Winter Rose is the other one? Lovely. So I thought I'll buy these with the intention of using them for something like the sock club. And they weren't hugely expensive. That 400 grams was £7.20 and the minis were £1.20 for 80 metres. 400 metres and 80 metres. So it wasn't that bad, I didn't think, value-wise, compared to if I was paying £20 for a Nora George sock yarn. Just as an example. So yes, so I bought those, and there's one more I bought at Alternate Universe. So the other thing I bought at Alternate Universe, is the last thing I bought at Alternate Universe, was some Stranded. And normally I would get it straight from Amy, but they do a special base specifically for Alternate Universe. This is their Alternate Universe little tag. Go and get it to focus, that would be good. That's better. Okay, so, chucked it off there. So she does a special base for Alternate Universe because I think Kim and Amy went to college together or something. Amy, let me know if that's totally wrong. I've just asked Kim's mum. So yes, so because of that, and because they're friends, she does a special base for Alternate Universe, and there wasn't very much there, but I've always wanted Legless Flamingo, and she had some in Sanctuary. So Sanctuary is the fingering weight BFL bamboo. So it's 80-20, so 80 BFL and 20 bamboo. This is Legless Flamingo. So Legless because it doesn't have the black speckles in it. The Flamingo base, the Flamingo colourway is the one with the black in it. But I just preferred this because it's a little bit lighter, a little bit more springy, and I don't tend to wear a lot of black. So this base is the Sanctuary base, and it's so squishy, it's so lovely. I've got a real thing about bamboo yarn anyway, I love it. And the fact that it's a little bit more eco-friendly is great too. So I really was happy with this, that she had the Sanctuary base and she had a colour that I really liked. So yeah, that was the last thing I bought at Alternate Universe in Cleve, which is near Bristol. Then, I know, stash enhancement. I need to get knitting. It's really bad. There's so much of it here. I hadn't tidied up since the last time I podcasted or vlogged or whatever you want to call whatever I'm doing. And I just have a table full of yarn. Never mind, I am knitting it up slowly. So, you may have known, or you may know, that Countess Ablaze had a unpleasant interaction with a customer of late, which she published on her Instagram, and then she decided that she was going to dye some colourways to donate to women's charities. So if you're not a fan of swearing, I will try my best to just say instead of the word that she's using, or I'll show you on the screen, it's probably easier. But I ordered both colourways that she was dyeing, these limited editions. I'd never bought Countess Ablaze before, but I really liked what she was saying about makers being, you know, treated slightly differently and stuff, and people not understanding how long something takes to make, and so the price reflects that. And so I bought both. So the first one I bought on her DK. This is her Grand Merino DK, and this is tea and tea and Traybake. So let's see if we can put it there. There you go. You can see what it says. So yes, this is that colour. It's a Superwash Extra Fine Merino DK. It's 225 metres. It's really cool. I'm not 100% on the highlighty yellow, but when I knit it up, I think it'll be fine. I think it's just a splash and it will just kind of lend itself to it. But there's lots of colours in here. It's kind of browns, and there is even like a peachy tone and a rosy tone and that highlighter yellow that I was talking about. So yeah, it's really nice. The base is gorgeous. I even had like the kind of magenta speckles at the front. So this is going to be a hat of some description. So I was looking the other night as to what kind of hat I think I might like, but definitely going to be a hat in that Countess Ablaze. And also, can I just say how cool her logo is? It's so kind of punky and awesome. So yeah, that's the Countess Ablaze in tea and Traybake. And then the other one that she did, I'll just call it If I Want Exposure. Most people will know what the next bit is, and I'll show it up on the screen, so if you've got little ones around, we don't have to say the words. So this is the name. I can get it to focus. There we go. There you go. And this is her Lady Persephone sock, and this is 75% BFL and 25% nylon, and there's 425 metres. So If I Want Exposure. Look at how hot pink and red and awesome it is. There's also that orangey tone in it. Just so cool. I have no clue what I'm going to make with this yet. I would really like it to be maybe a one skein shawl. There's 420 metres, 425 metres, so I could do something like a spindrift shawl. But yes, love, love, love. I'm not normally a red person, but because it's pinks and purpley reds, I was on board with this. I think it's really, really cool. So that's all I've got to show you today. Hopefully I will have a bit more Rocquaine and a finished sock for you next weekend. We will see. But thanks so much for watching. Don't forget you can find me on Instagram, which is @bbhandmadedress. And I'll see you guys next week. Nice to see you. Bye.